You know God exists. And last week we looked at what's so special about Jesus. Why does he say himself he is the only way that people can go to heaven, sins can be forgiven? Why was Jesus the only way? We looked at that last week. Today we're going to look at something, and I think it's something that we take very lightly in the church today as Christians, and people take in general very lightly. And it's something that we hear probably every time the doors are open, because every time that we come together and learn, whatever we learn, we tie it back into the cross and how we can have a relationship with Christ, have our sins forgiven, and when we die, go to heaven and everything, and we tie it all back into that. But there's something that we probably hear, and we probably feel like it's just, we hear it so much that we don't take it real serious. And that is a three-little word called sin. See, we don't understand what sin, how big of a deal sin is to God. And so, what we're going to look at tonight is this right here. We're talking about how you can know God exists. We're talking about what's so special about Christ. And tonight we're going to hit something pretty hard. And that is this, is as Christ's follower, he commands us to go and make disciples, to tell our friends about him, to tell our enemies about him. And the question is, or a question will come up, why do I need a Savior? Why? I mean, what do I need saving from? And these are questions that you're going to get when you open up and you share your faith. And it's questions that you're going from here to the rest of your life. And it may be a question that you have tonight. Why do you need a Savior? And it's a three-letter word called sin. And so I just got a quick question. How many believe, we're going to take a little vote up in here. All right, how many believe people are good for the most part? People good for the most part? In general. I mean, would you consider yourself a good person? No? No? Okay. How many would consider yourself a good person? Raise your hand. Anybody? Got a couple? I mean, if you think you're a good person, raise your hand. All right. Do you think people are like good, pretty much most of the time? No? All right. Got a question. Do you think it's pretty common for people to do the right thing, or do you think it's pretty common for people to do the wrong thing? Wrong. Let me ask you this: who's going to wet me with water balloons after Lighthouse tonight? Yeah, stuff come by. I just want to see that. I just want to see, because see, it was kind of a setup, all right? I was going to see how many people would want you to like just nail me in the face, get me soaked after you tonight with water balloons, and stuff went around and told everybody about it. And I just honestly, who was going to do that to me? Who was in on that?
Actually, I wasn't going to hit you. I was going to hit everybody else.
Okay, so not everybody told that. Dude, y'all had an opportunity to like just bombard the youth pasture with balloons, like leave whelps on them, and y'all were going to take that opportunity. All right? And the most part. But here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. Dude, people are not inherently good, all right? They don't do good all the time, all right? We're not prone to do good, all right? And so here's the deal, guys. In Genesis chapter 6, if y'all remember this week, we did a study on Noah a few weeks ago. And in Genesis chapter 6, we see that, if you'll go ahead and put that up there for me, Brady. In Genesis chapter 6, is this right here. And when the Lord saw that men's wickedness was widespread on the earth, and that every scheme in his mind, every scheme his mind thought of was nothing but evil all the time. Now you got to remember, this was back in Noah's day. All right, and we just learned what happened. God sent a flood of judgment. God chose Noah and his family to save, the human population and the animal population on a floating zoo, and here we are today. But the thing about it is back in Noah's time, there wasn't no internet for people to get on this earth. All right, there wasn't no like bad movies to get on this earth. Like there's a lot of things that we have now that Noah didn't have then that are bad. Okay. And that, a pornography business in this country that's huge and easy to access. You got all this stuff going on, and even then, everybody's hearts were evil. They were thinking bad things all the time. And so we've come a long way, and we got a lot more options in order to be tempted and to be living a wicked life. In Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9, it says, "The heart is more deceitful than anything else, and incurable. Who can understand it?" See, the thing about it is, guys, is that tonight we need a Savior. And whether you realize it or not, or understand it or not, here's why you need a Savior. Because sin is incurable. You cannot cure yourself. If you had cancer and you couldn't cure yourself at home, you have to go get treatment for that. Sin is incurable. We have to have a Savior. We cannot save ourselves. This is like our tank right here. If you were like, how many are driving now by any chance? Anybody driving? A little bit? I got a question. Unless you go to the gas station, pay for your gas, pick your grade, put your gas in the gas tank, hit the nozzle and fill it up, can you put gas in your tank? Can you magically make it appear? No. Can't do that. Well, you still got to go get it and bring it back. And the same thing with us, guys. We can't make our sin magically disappear. We can't do it. We're flawed. We're not good. We need a Savior to do that for us, okay? And so that's where we're at. We're in a state of hopelessness in our sin. We're dying in our sin, and there's no cure for it in ourselves. All right? But here's the deal, guys. Here's what I want to do. Another reason we need a Savior is simply this. Sin separates us from God. I need a volunteer. Good, Autumn. Here's what I want you to do, Autumn. I want you to go outside this youth room, close the door, and go downstairs and just hang out for a little bit.
Okay,
until I tell you to come back in, okay?
What do I do?
I just told you what to do.
I'll do it.
I want to go over. She needs somebody to talk to, man.
Nah, she don't need nobody to talk to. Get on out of here, all. Keep going. Go down the stairs. Don't come back till I tell you to come back.
You're not going to tell her to come back, are you?
It gives me time to talk to my imaginary friend.
Maybe.
Alright.
She's not coming back.
Alright, everybody just count to 10 with me just for
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We got the slow.
Oh, wait, hold on. I messed up. 1, 4, 22.
Alright, guys, here we go. Y'all ready for me to tell Autumn to come back?
Yes.
No.
Alright. Autumn, you can come back. Think she heard me?
No.
Did she
can come back!
I don't know if she heard you or not.
Tyler, I can make her hear me.
Let's not.
Like, you think...
Tyler.
Oh, look, I'm about to say it worked. Alright, but seriously, dude, Autumn, come back. Autumn, you can come in. Can you hear that?
No. Yeah, I can hear it.
You can, but can she hear it?
No. She can hear it.
Alright, guys, here's what we'll do. We'll open up the door. We'll remove this barrier real quick. Alright, open up the door. Alright, and on the count of three, we're all going to yell, Autumn, come back, okay? Now that we kind of remove these barriers. Alright, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, get your tail over here.
Bum.
Alright, let's count. Let's count, see how long it takes for it to come.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Alright, you owe everybody $18 because we counted 18.
What?
I had a great time.
Alright, guys, here we go. Here's another reason we need a Savior is this right here. Is sin separates us from God. God is holy, meaning He is totally apart from His creation. Alright? He is sinless. He cannot be in the presence of sin. And here's what happens, guys. Before we accept Christ as our Savior, before we realize that we cannot cure our sin, that we're dead spiritually, and that we need a Savior, here's what happens. Is we're separated from God, and God is saying, I desire you, I want you, I want to have a relationship with you, and here's what's happened. We have so much sin in our lives, and if you're a Christian and you're living a life of habitual sin, practicing sin day in and day out, not following Christ, guess what it is? It's like all the being downstairs, the doors being shut, and you've got walls in the hallway and doors separating you from God, and that relationship with God is not in a place. Sin separates us from God, and the only way that we have a relationship with God is we got to go to Him, knock down that wall, knock down the door, open the door, and say, God, I'm a sinner, you come into my life and have that relationship with me. That's how you have a relationship with God. We're moving on. Alright? And it says in Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. What do you think that verse means? Somebody tell me what you think it means to fall short of the glory of God. Let's dissect this, because y'all heard it a lot, but let's really look at this and what do you think it means? What does it mean? Dissect that for me. Tell me what it is.
It means that since we have sinned and God is holy, He is